Hello everyone and welcome on into another LEGO custom video. So for today's video we're going to be looking at, this will be part 1 of 4 Ben 10 custom minifigures. So how I'm going to work it is, because I've got a lot of Ben 10 figures, so these showcases will be of just like the primary of the collection, and if you want to go see more, I post full group shots of each series on my Instagram, which will be linked in the description. So I'll post them in order of show release. So today we're starting off with the original series when Ben is 10. Then we're going to be moving on to Alien Force, which all those figures are up on my Instagram at the moment. Then we'll be moving into Omniverse and then Ben 10,000. So for today's figures, we've just got the core 3 of the group, and that's probably how I'm going to run it. It's just the core group, 2 aliens that I like, 2 villains that I like, and just to try and keep it like to a consistent amount, just so then like, because with all the figures I have for each series, I think I've got like 11 for the original. I've got like 15 for Alien Force. I haven't finished my Omniverse ones, but that's shaping out to be about 10 figures. So I just want to try and keep it compact so then these videos are more digestible. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get on into it. So these are my versions of the characters like usual. And yeah, there's not much else to say. So let's start it off with our first figure. Okay, so starting us off, we've got Gwen Tennyson himself. So I wanted to keep the design, get that to focus. I wanted to keep the design like the original, but like, I just like making more suit-like costumes. So I wanted to keep it feeling like the original, like with the, let that focus, with like the black and white tee, with the black strip down the middle, the green pants, and the Omnitrix visible. But I gave him more of like a hero costume sort of thing. So he's got like the white gloves and the padded sleeves. And yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, I like the design, and I'm not going to defend my design because they're my designs. So for the Omnitrix, I want it to be like a, I'm having trouble with focus today. I want it to be like a half wrist design, so like it goes up half of his arm instead of just being around his wrist. The Alien Force one is like a bulkier addition to this one, and then for the Omniverse, when he gets the completed Omnitrix, it is a streamlined wrist-only one. So yeah, there's not much else to say for him. I do have this little accessory that clips on. Since it's a stud, it can hold trophy pieces. So we're able to have him going hero to show off like the alien representation. It's just one of those little trophy pieces painted in like a glossy green. And yeah, the figure's simple, but I very much like how the design turned out. Got an alternate like worried expression, dropping him everywhere. Yeah, he's got like an alternate worried expression. Yeah, there's not much else to say about him, so let's move on to his cousin. Okay, so here we've got Gwen. So for same thing with Ben's design, I wanted it to feel more like a costume while keeping it like their traditional look. So she's got her cat sweater there, but like I kept it simple. She's got like a long sleeve, double pattern design sort of thing, got some details on the sleeve. I've got her with like a cloth belt, and it's got her lucky charm of Bazelle on there. A magic piece, because she's like just starting to learn how to use magic. I do have Charmcaster's Book of Spells, which is just the one from Dungeons & Dragons CMF series. I've got electrical tape on her boots, same for the belt. Her hairpiece is the hearing aid hairpiece, but I trimmed off the hearing aid piece because I liked the way that the hair flowed. So, yeah, not much else to say about Gwen, so let's move on to Grandpa Max. Okay, so here for Max, I went with a mix of like his first season design as well as like the Ben 10,000 design with the robot arm. I always just like the robot arm, just like trying to. I feel like it would be like a fun dynamic if he had it for like the whole series, because like he's trying to be super secretive about being a plumber, but all the questions keep coming up about why he has such like a high-tech robotic prosthetic arm when that sort of technology doesn't exist for people. So I just thought it was a fun thing to add. He's using, instead of a Hawaiian shirt, I'm just using the Robin torso piece because it's what a lot of people use for Hawaiian shirts. The arm is the Cyborg CMF arm. I've just got an electrical tape sleeve over it and painted it up. His accessories are like a little bowl and some chopsticks for when he's eating like octopus eggs or whatever like quirky alien dish he wants to write up. Just got like a generic face for him with like beard and some wrinkles. The Jor-El hairpiece. I've got him in some shorts, just some standard black shorts, some electrical tape, and I painted him on some sandals. So, give him that grandpa pluggers. But yeah, I'm happy. He's very simple, but like the designs for Grandpa Max are quite simple. I just wanted to go with sort of like a laid back, ex-military sort of thing. But yeah, with that said, let's move on into the aliens. Okay, so first of the two aliens in our showcase is Heat Blast. Heat Blast is always going to be a classic, always going to be in the top 5 aliens. It's just such a cool flaming rock monster. So for all my designs, you'll notice that like I do change some of them drastically, but others I do keep quite similar. This is one that I changed quite drastically. I always liked the ones where it was like the alien species got crammed into like Ben's sort of black and white aesthetic or green aesthetic. So for here, I wanted to do sort of like an NRG containment suit mixed with like a flame-proof suit, sort of like a Diamond Head situation where it's like it's the full suit, but the parts that need to use the powers are exposed. So bringing him in, I've made this piece using like a bootleg Juggernaut armor. I just carved off the top so it had like this containment ventilation system and shoulder pads. I am using, you can see with the light, some translucent arms, legs, and heads, and like the Human Torch, Ghost Rider head pieces for both his flame effects on his hands as well as the flame effect on his head. On the bottom of his legs is electrical tape just to create that raised area. The face and head, I sort of wanted to do like an Infernal from Fire Force with like the big horns and everything, because I just like the demonic insignia sort of look for him, because it's like he's doing hero work, but he's also a giant flaming rock monster. So I tried to capture that with this. The Omnitrix is just a hollow stud that I filled in and painted up. You'll notice all the aliens have like different Omnitrix symbols and stuff. That was an issue on my end because I changed my mind halfway through making the series on what I was going to do, because I was originally just going to make my Omniverse one with, my Alien Force Ben and Young Ben. And then all my alien figures, I was just going to pick 10 of the hundreds that he has, and I was just going to do a definitive Omnitrix. So some of them will have different Omnitrix colors to others, because I made them at different times to suit with a specific Omnitrix. But now that they're separate series, it does look a little bit disorganized, but both Heat Blast and Forearms have the white and green Omnitrix logo, but others like my Accelerate and Ghost Freak for this series don't. So it just depends on when I made them. But I'll stop yapping about the Omnitrix colors and move on into Forearms. Okay, so here with Forearms, we've got him using the Lord Garmadon torso extender piece to give him those forearms. I know there are better solutions now for his size, but I made this figure back in like 2017. So a lot of like bootleg companies didn't exist back then, so to the quality that they are now. But I am happy with like the thin sort of design. The only thing that I've updated in those past like 7-8 years is giving him the Dragon Ball buff arms for his smaller arms. Those just came off Jiren. But yeah, I'm still happy with how this figure turned out years down the line. He's got a fully sculpted head. The arms and chest are also sculpted to give it sort of that raised thing. His suit design is very similar to how he looks in just the generic show. So yeah, not much else to say. I'll get some height comparisons in. So he's not by much, but he is still taller than both a standard minifigure and a short leg minifigure. And I think the height is accurate to how tall he is without having to use like one of the newer like One Piece bodies or the like Thanos body piece or even a Big Fig. So I'm happy, or like the Venom torso, which I have used on my Wrath figure. So Wrath for my Alien Force post will be a lot buffer than my Forearms, but my Forearms is special to me because of how long ago I made him. He was one of the first Ben 10 figures I made along with this Ben, but this Ben also has gone through a lot of updates since then. But anyway, I'll stop giving lore dumps and move on to our final two figures of this series. Okay, so first of our villains will be Dr. Animo. So when I was deciding which villains I was going to make for each line, because he has so many like villain of the week characters that are really cool, like one that I always liked as a kid just because it like used to freak me out as a kid was like the bug guy, the guy that was made out of bugs. It was his design was playing off the trauma that I felt watching Men in Black with the cockroach people. So yeah, like I wanted to make so many villains, but I also didn't want to just be only making Ben 10 figures for the rest of my Lego days, because there are so many characters that I want to do, I want to make every alien, but I can't. So I just went with the classics for all of them. Like for this one, I've just got Animo, who's always the GOAT. Like he's one of the best villains in the show. He's stuck around all the way to Ben 10,000. The monkey design for him was fun for that. But yeah, so we've got Animo, we've got Vilgax, we've got Hex, and we've got Charmcaster, because I thought those are the more prevalent villains. Like I would have loved to do like a Rojo figure or the Forever King. Those would have been cool to get in here. But yeah, I just settled with just going with those four, just because like Charmcaster was for Gwen. You can't have her without Hex for the original series. Animo's goated, and Vilgax is obviously the main villain, so you had to go with it. I had to use him. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about justifications so then this video doesn't get timed out. But yeah, so we'll get into the figure. So the helmet is fully customed by me. I just like used like horn pieces to get like his antenna. I wrapped like some string around it and painted it silver, so like some random cords. A combination of like The helmet was like a military helmet, so it's got like some bits sticking on it. And then I just used like some cut up hands and hollow studs and binoculars to make it feel like junk all put together. And then I went around with some orange and yellow paint to try and create, and some darker colors to try and create some rust and wear on it. Like he was just using scrap metal to make his transmogrifier. The chest, he's just got like his like red circle thing on his chest. There is like a clear red stud in there to create that. Just some different ammo pouches. He's got some pouches on his back, some knee pads, some like different ray guns on his hip, and just like a blaster, electrical tape to make some details, and like a military belt for his belt. The face is a Dr. Octopus face that I painted the lenses in red because, like, it just looks perfect for Animo. The cheeky grin, the goggles, it all just worked really well. But yeah, that's enough about that figure. Moving on to our final figure of the series. Here we've got Vilgax. So this is one of my favorite figures of the lineup. It was just a lot of fun designing all these different things for him, like how his legs would work, his arms would look, and all that. So for his design, I mixed together all the designs of the different Vilgaxes. It is mainly the Alien Force coming through, like with the Infinity Gauntlet ripoff, the red V on his shirt, the shoulder pad, the sword. But I also wanted to give him, in the Ben 10,000, he's got one giant arm, so I used that and All For One as reference, mainly All For One. But I just loved having like all those pipes sticking out of it that are like punching into him to like make muscles stronger and everything. So like I just did like I based the arm off of All For Ones, and then I just filled it with all those like black and red tubes. The arm is on like a ball joint piece, so it's still movable. You can move it out, back, and then like out to the side. So you get a little bit of posability. It is the length of his body, so it does help hold up the figure. Just one sec, just got to cough for a sec. Sorry about that. Just I think I'm coming down with a cold, and talking for 20 minutes is not helping. So I'll try and get this done as quick as I can. The head is the space alien head. I just sort of painted like his little mouth above the tentacles because I just thought this was like the easiest head to use, and it fits on the buff body piece, like the Mr. Incredible body piece. It fits on that perfectly, so I didn't have to do any sanding or customizing on that. The torso, I've just painted like a big V insignia, sort of like the Mauler twins for Invincible. I just thought it was cool for the design. Red shoulder pad came from like a Halo Brute. The glove is an Infinity Gauntlet that I attached like his laser stone to, and like a big spike. He's got this cool like demonic looking sword, which just sticks on his back because neither of his hands can hold it. His legs are made of like I'm not sure what these are called, like the Among Us looking pieces with like some 1x1 like vertical claws on the base, some of those like sloped tiles for knee pads, and they're just like attached through some claw hook pieces, a Batman utility belt, and one of those like hollow rounded 2x1s, and those attach onto the bottom. It gives him a lot of height and keeps like some posability in his legs, in both the feet and the leg joint itself. I wanted to do sort of like this like loose fabric, like half coat sort of thing on him. It is heavily inspired from Bay versus Megatron. I can't remember which movie off the top of my head, and it's going to bug me until I go look at the DVD cases. it's not Age of Extinction, but the one before it. Anyway, how he was out like in the desert and he had like that trowel on. I just love the look of like big, like all like the big arm with like the ripped fabric coming off of it. But yeah, not much else to say about this figure. I've got some blood soaked on his different armor pieces and stuff like that. Sorry about the camera unfocusing. I'm noticing it's doing that a lot when I'm not looking at the camera. So sorry that this video keeps defocusing. But yeah, there's not much else to say about this figure. So yeah, I'll get everyone back in and do a final wrap up. Okay, so I just wanted to say a couple things about the channel before I wrap up the video. I'm probably gonna, I know I said I was gonna try and do 2 a month, but I will always do 1 video a month. If I do more, then that's a bonus, but it's just finding time to film, like work-life balance, stuff like that. So I just wanna say there will always be a video a month from me, so you're guaranteed 12 videos in a year, but I am just knocking it down just so then A, I don't run out of figures to make, B, I don't get burnout, and C, it is easier to find time to make a 20-minute video once a month. But if I get bonus time and I've got a different lot of figs to show or something like that, you might get 2 in a month or something. But the 1 a week was just to get me back into it, just to prove that I could do it. But yeah, now that I'm back into it, I'm just gonna keep it at like a month per video. But yeah, with this video here, yeah, there's not much else to say. I'm very happy with how all my Ben 10 figures turn out. It's one of my favorite series I've worked on. By the end of it, I'll probably have about 40 figures in total over 4 series, which is my biggest collection so far. It beats out both my Marvel and my DC, which I think only have like 30 each in them. But yeah, very happy with how the figures turned out. Sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely coming down with a sickness. So yeah, not much else to say. Go, if you want to see more videos, go like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And yeah, I'm just rambling. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.